Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Corset 2021 pre-release party brought to you by Star City Games and our friends over at Wizards of the Coast. I am Jeremy Noell, and today I am starting off round one here with Ross Merriam of Versus Live. Hello, Ross.
Hello.
And today, we're going to play some 2021 pre-release. So Wizards of the Coast was gracious enough to provide us with the Corset 2021 pre-release packs for everybody. We've got a mostly full day. We only have 6 participants this time. So we have myself, Justin Parnell, Jonathan Suarez, and Stephen Green of Commander Versus, Ross Merriam of Versus Live, and our special guest, Happy Toe Claws, cosplayer extraordinaire, will be joining us throughout the day. Each player is going to play 2 rounds throughout the day against various people, and so we just wanted to bring you some fun and some pre-release excitement, especially if you can't make it out to your LGS to actually experience the paper pre-release in person. So let's see here. I think I am all set to go. Are you ready, Ross?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm sleeved up.
Go over to my overhead here. So we're going to roll off just using the spin down counters that we got in the pre-release packs. So high roll goes first.
Sure.
Or chooses, rather. I got a 17.
I got an 18.
All right, so you get to choose.
I will... Oh, sometimes in sealed I like to draw first.
Yeah.
And I have the kind of deck that might want to draw first, but I also have the kind of deck that might get run over, and I don't know what your deck is like. I'm just going to choose to play. It's the safer decision. See how my 7 turns out here.
Pretty good with this hand. I'm going to keep this.
I think it's a little land heavy, but in sealed that's not the worst, and it's fine for my deck. And I have some stuff to do, so yeah, I'll keep.
All right, so you're going to play?
Yeah, I'll start with the Bloodfell Caves. Gain a life, go to 21.
All right.
You're up.
I'll draw, and I will play Forest and have a turn 1 Portcullis Vine. 0-3 Defender, pay 2, tap it, sack creature with Defender, draw a card. Pass there. Not doing a lot of aggressive start here with that. So.
No, we're not. I'll play an island and pass.
I am going to play a swamp and also pass.
Okay. Another island, and then Teferi's Protege. 2-3, 1 on a blue tap, draw a card, and discard a card. You're up.
All right. Well, this isn't very good. I will pass the turn.
Okay.
Unfortunate.
Well, let's go with a swamp, and no point in attacking, so I'll pass back.
All right. I will see if I can get another card that I need. So I'm going to play Village Rites as an additional cost, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards.
Sounds good.
Draw 2 cards, and that's it. End step. Untap, draw for the turn. All right, so we got another forest, which is what we needed here.
Some big old green creatures.
Yeah, got some okay green creatures. Gonna lead out with a Crashing Brontodon. And pass the turn.
Crashing Brontodon. Got black up. On your end step, I'm gonna Soul Sear that. 2 and a red, 5 damage to a creature or planeswalker.
Yep.
And man.
Ross is upside down on this because we want both players' play mats to look like they're face up, essentially. So you'll kind of see what's from his perspective. It should be the right way up on camera. So that's why it looks upside down.
So you have like 6 cards in hand or something like that?
I do have 6 cards in hand.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Don't have a very good play this. Gonna fall too far behind. I'm gonna loot with the Teferi's Protege.
Yeah.
And discard a mountain. Actually, let's not discard this mountain. Let's discard an island. And then I will pass the turn.
All right. Untap. Drop it. That's a fun one. We used that a lot earlier, but let's see here. I will play that, and I will play my 5-drop, which is the Gnarled Sage, 4/4 reach. As long as I've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, it gets +0/+2 and has Vigilance. Now pass the turn. Just waiting for Ross to just be like, removal, 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 beat you to death with this Teferi's Looter.
That is the plan. Well, maybe not beating you the Protege, but I'll play the mountain. Protege is going to go away because I have a Gorman. So it's an additional cost to cast it. I have to sacrifice a creature. It is a 5/5 flying trampler, and when it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature.
That's rough.
So why don't we trade Protege for your 4/4?
Yeah, okay. That sounds...
And then pass the turn.
Yeah. 5/5 flying trample, hey? That's big. That's a big boy.
It is big. Your reach creature just went away.
My trample 6/6 is here, though. Good old Colossal Dreadmaw. See if that can stay alive and maybe get some beats in, and then pass the turn.
6/6 trample. Appears in every set.
Forever until the end of Magic the Gathering, or the Heat Death of the Universe, whichever comes first.
Yeah. Let's get in with the Gormand. Finally deal some damage.
Yep, 15.
We got 15 to 21. And then I've got Island. I'm going to play Obsessive Stitcher. Demir Uncommon. So 1 blue-black, 0/3. You can tap it to draw a card and then discard. And then 2 blue-black, tap Sacrifice. Return a creature from my graveyard to the battlefield. So part Looter, part Doomed Necromancer.
Yeah, that seems pretty sweet. Done.
And Ranger's Guile's in this set, so I think I'm just going to do this now. And I'm going to Capture Sphere your Colossal Dreadmaw.
Oh, so, that's rough.
Yeah, 3 blue flash aura taps the creature when it enters the battlefield and stops it from untapping. So I'm going to flip this around on my battlefield, so it seems like it's on your creature. And then I will pass the turn.
Here, so that stinks. That is rough.
It's still alive, so that's good.
It is alive. I don't know that that helps me much right now. I will play Jolrael Mulvaney Recluse.
So yeah, what's the activated ability on that one again?
That is 6 total. It's 4 green. Until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So
okay,
pretty okay. And I'm going to play a Garrick's Harbinger. 4/3, hexproof from black. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You may reveal a creature card or a Garrick planeswalker card from among them and put it into your hand, with the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And then I will pass the turn.
You have like 2 or 3 in hand?
I have 3 in hand.
3. Okay. Well, just keep drawing good cards. Could wait and try to get more value out of this, but I think I'd rather use it now. It's more mana efficient. I'm going to cast Experimental Overload, targeting the Soul Spear. So I create an XX blue and red weird token, where X is the number of instant or sorcery cards in my graveyard, so it's going to be a 1/1. And then return an instant or sorcery from my graveyard to the battlefield.
Sure.
And I do even have a weird token.
Nice.
And an extra die, so we can put a 1 on this. Oh god. Sideboard has fallen over. So I'm going to get back the Soul Seer. I will Soul Seer the 4/3 Garrick's Harbinger.
Yep.
And then attack for 5 with the Gorman.
Yep, I go to 10.
We got 10 to 21, and I will pass the turn.
Feeling like this is going to be a quick game here.
Feeling like you need to have some sort of plummet in your main.
Apparently. Yeah, I'm going to play Sabertooth Mauler. 3/3 at the beginning of your upkeep. If a creature died this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it and untap it. And then I will also play a Silver's Moat Ghoul. 3/1 at the beginning of your end step. If you gain 3 or more life this turn, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Pay a black and a colorless, sacrifice it, draw a card. And I will pass the turn.
So is the 3/3 that triggers on your upkeep or end step?
At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn. Yep.
Is there a reason for me to loot with this Stitcher? I guess I could hit a creature I might want to return. So yeah, let's just loot on your end step. Discard the swamp. Now you have 1 card in hand?
I have 1 card in hand.
Not very many cards. I will attack for 5 with the Gourmand.
Yep, I'm at 5.
And pass the turn.
I'm not likely to make it through this. Five flyer. All right, we're going to sacrifice this to draw a card. That gives me a cat token. I had a cat token itself, so. And then I will.
Corey is so mad that Joel Rell makes cat tokens and not beast tokens because he's the beast token. She's the Empress of Beasts.
True. Play Fetid Imp. Maybe throw a blocker in there in case you don't have removal for it. And then I will pass the turn. Put a counter on this.
Yeah, counter's good. I'll loot on your end step.
Yep.
Discard swamp. And even better, I will eliminate the Fetid Imp. Destroy a creature with CMC 3 or less.
That takes it. Yeah, I don't have a blocker, so that's going to scoop him up.
Yeah, turn 6 Gourmand, attack 4 times.
Yep. So we're going to go to a quick deck tech to show off Ross's deck. I'm sure you've seen most of it here, though. It's removal, 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 and then kill me in the air. But we're going to show that real quick, and we will be back for game 2.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my deck tech for SCG's Corset 2021 pre-release party. I am Ross Merriam, and I'm just going to quickly go over the deck that I'm playing today, some of the cards I am choosing to play, why I'm playing them, and then reasons why I'm not playing some of the other powerful cards in the pool. So when I first opened the pool, I noticed the promo is a Glorious Anthem, and then I saw Basri's Lieutenant in white as I was sorting through the packs. So white was actually the first color I gravitated towards. But as it turned out, my white was really shallow and just didn't fill out a full deck. Then next I went to a Golgari deck because I noticed that my black had a ton of just volume of cards and had a lot of different sacrifice cards. So I thought maybe I could develop some sacrifice synergies. I also have the Golgari Uncommon Twin Blade Assassins, and a card that I think is really powerful. So I wanted to see if I could build around that. But as so often happens in sealed deck, you just don't get all of the different pieces for a synergy-laden deck to work. And in the Golgari deck, I just didn't have enough fodder. Creatures I wanted to sacrifice for some value, they just didn't exist in my pool. So while I had a lot of ways to sacrifice creatures, that's not good if you're sacrificing full cards and creatures that you want to actually stay on the battlefield. So I defaulted to a really classic archetype in Sealed. This is just a control deck. I'm playing a lot of removal, I'm playing a lot of card advantage, and I'm playing a lot of high-end good creatures that can dominate a battlefield. So I'm going to want to play long games. I'm going to want to grind my opponent out. I'm playing 18 lands as a result just because I want to make a lot of land drops. I also have a ton of looters in my deck. I have Obsessive Stitcher, the Dimir Uncommon. I think that's probably one of the best cards in the entire set, especially in Sealed. Really excited to see that one and one of the big draws to my deck. So I don't really worry about flooding with the way my deck is set up. Also, there's the Teferi. That one's super exciting as well. I'm going to be able to discard extra lands. So got the 18th in there. I'm running a splash of red to get some Soul Seers in, as well as an Experimental Frenzy. No, that's not it. It's not Experimental Frenzy. Hold on. Hold the phone. Experimental Overload. There we go. Into my deck as another way of generating card advantage. And then, my high-end cards are going to be that Gourmand, a card that is not great in my deck, but has such high upside when it's good. When I get to sacrifice a 1/1 sapling to it and get a creature of my opponent's and have a big flyer, it's awesome. But I have so many ways to discard it from my hand when it's not good that I'm going to be able to mitigate the downside because, sometimes your opponent has an easy creature they want to sacrifice to it. You don't have a good creature you want to sacrifice to it, and it messes up with the symmetry there. And, in those situations, if the 5/5 flyer also isn't great, I can just throw it away to one of my many looting effects. So I think that one's a great one. And I think the 5/7 Hexproof Whale, hold on, let me find that one. Spined Megalodon, there we go, is a great finisher in a deck like this, because the worst thing that you can have happen is to, grind your opponent out, have them down to a really low hand size, you play your big finisher, and then your opponent just plays a removal spell on it. And you're, now in this weird top deck war. So having a hexproof threat at the top of the curve, I think, are really awesome for my deck. This deck should be a lot of fun to play. I think one card that you might be surprised to see in my sideboard is the Scorching Dragonfire. I am dipping pretty heavily into red. I've got 3 red sources between my Bloodfell Caves and 2 mountains. Maybe I want another good removal spell. It fits, I think, pretty well in the deck, but I'm pretty conservative when it comes to building my mana bases, even in Sealed. This is already where I am stretching my mana base a little further than I'm usually comfortable with, but in a slower deck, I think it'll be fine. I have a ton of looting effects too, which help mitigate the downside of having a card you can't cast in your hand. You can just, pitch it away for something else. The Scorching Dragonfire, however, is the weakest removal spell because it only kills smaller creatures. That means it's a removal spell that you want to be casting on the early turns of the game, which then means that it's the worst removal spell to be splashing. If I don't have my red mana early, which is pretty likely with only 3 red sources, I'm not going to be able to cast Scorching Dragonfire on turn 2, turn 3, and then keep the heat off me while trading for a cheap creature. And then later in the game, when I can cast it, it's not going to kill the card I want to kill. So while it's a card that I can see myself bringing in, if it matches up pretty well against my opponent's deck, say they have like a Garrick's Harbinger, which I can't kill with my black cards. I only have a couple blue removal spells to answer it. Yeah, then maybe I'll bring in a a Scorching Dragonfire because it answers that card. You know, something like that might force me to bring it in. But otherwise, that card's going to stay in my sideboard. I'm going to run with what I got, and hopefully it treats me well. So I'll see you during the games.
All right, everybody, we are back. I will be on the play this time. I didn't really swap anything out. I was thinking about it, but I just ended up not doing it. Ross,
Yeah.
what'd you do here?
I am swapping one card. I actually mentioned in my deck tech, which I recorded 2 days ago, that I would bring in Scorching Dragonfire potentially against Garrick's Harbinger. So good called shot there. Did not see a lot of 1 toughness creatures out of Jeremy's deck, so I'll trim a Skeleton Archer.
That's fair, yeah. I was debating on bringing in a Return to Nature just for the Capture Sphere, but I do have the Brontodon, which you already know about, so that works in a pinch, you know, if we get there, if you don't make me sacrifice it again. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep my 7 that I have here. It's a little land heavy, but I'm going to be on the play, so.
Playing first. Okay. Okay, my hand seems perfectly fine.
All right, I will play a forest and pass. Since Ross's deck seems to be pretty great, and this went pretty quick, there's a chance we might actually just play a 3rd game, even if I do end up going 0-2, just so everybody's aware.
Okay, I will start on an island and pass the turn.
I'm going to draw. I'm going to play a swamp, and I have a Drowsing Tyrannodon, and this is the 3/3 defender. As long as I control a creature with power 4 or greater, it can attack as though it didn't have defender, and I will pass the turn.
On your end step, I'm going to cast an Opt.
Okay.
And do not need another swamp right now, so we'll send that one right to the bottom. And I have a Fetid Imp. Card that you played last game. A little 1/2 flyer, can gain Death Touch for a black mana. Hopefully we'll trade for a big boom boom.
I will draw. I will play another swamp. And I will play a Hooded Blightfang. It's a 1/4 Death Toucher. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch attacks, each opponent loses 1 and you gain 1. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals damage to a Planeswalker, destroy that. And I will pass the turn.
That was a really good draw. I will play a swamp and
Who's on the Star City Games account in chat?
Suarez?
Suarez?
I am just going to pass the turn.
Okay. Fetid Imp, Death Toucher. I am going to play this Fabled Passage promo that I got. And then I will crack it to go get Forest.
So no splash color in Jeremy's deck, it seems.
Nope, I was thinking about it. I definitely. Oh, okay, it was Suarez. Absolutely no idea how I was logged into the SCG account. But that's how ready to battle. Do have to make sure Tappy is ready. So as long as Director Rob can confirm that, I don't want to get too ahead. We did have that problem last time where we were ahead and behind a little bit throughout the day. All right. You have a 1/2 flyer that can gain Death Touch. Don't know that I want to waste a removal spell on a 1/2 flyer, you know, at any point, or throw this Hooded Blight thing into it. So I will pass the turn.
Okay. On your end step, I'm going to eliminate the Hooded Blight Fang.
Okay. Deck is just removal, removal, removal.
The key is that, in addition to the removal, it's just drawing a bunch of cards. There's not a ton of like total removal in the deck. I just draw them all every game. It's great. I'm going to play Mountain and my other copy of Skeleton Archer. Still no 1 toughness creatures out of Jeremy's deck, so I guess this will go upstairs for 1.
All right.
So you go to 19, and I'll get in for 1 in the air.
All right, I'll go to 18.
Probably should have attacked first, but you can go. I don't know if there's some trick that gives reach, but
very well might be. Another forest, and I will pass the turn.
Still nothing. What are you doing over there, Jeremy?
Failing horribly at drawing good cards.
Okay, well, I will attack with the Fetid Imp after playing an island.
17.
And then I will play Obsessive Stitcher.
All right.
Pass the turn.
Draw.
No reason to get over-aggressive here on my side.
Swamp for the turn. I'll play Truffle Snout. I'll come in with a counter.
So you got another 3/3.
Another 3/3. Then I will pass the turn.
Do I want to attack with Skeleton Archer into your 3/3s?
Oh, cost 3. Thank you.
Yeah. It's just Brindlebore with more options.
Yeah.
What are you on? Like 4 cards? 5 cards?
3 cards in hand.
3?
Yeah, like I said, not doing much.
Doing a whole lot over there.
Waiting for my slow, inevitable death here.
Yeah, I'm going to attack with a Fetid Imp and Skeleton Archer.
Okay, and Skeleton Archer is a 3/3?
Yep.
I will block the Skeleton Archer with my Defender.
Sure. So they trade, you take 1.
Yep.
Brings you to 16.
16.
And then I will play an island and pass the turn.
And how big is your looter there?
It's an 0/3 Obsessive Stitcher.
Land? Swing for 3, I guess.
I will go to 17.
Pass the turn.
On your end step, I'll loop.
Yep.
I'm going to discard an island.
I am going to Grasp of Darkness that. -4/-1.
Okay. Stitcher down.
Yep. Get out of here.
Oof. Let's get in for 1.
Yep.
Go to 15. I'll play a swamp, and I'm gonna play Gormand, sacrificing this imp.
Yeah.
Why don't you sacrifice that 3/3?
Yep.
And I'll pass the turn.
Pretty sure I just don't have anything that actually works against Gormand here, so I'll play Swamp and pass the turn.
No, we're in line for another turn 10 win.
Yep.
Gormand came down a turn later, but it doesn't need to attack it 4 times. Okay, attack you for 5.
Yep, I'm at 10.
10 to 17, and I'll pass the turn.
Well, that doesn't do much, but we'll cultivate.
Yeah, that's fine.
Swamp, and then play my forest for the turn. Really need to get one of these nice cards in my deck. Got 2 that could help with this.
Instead, you're drawing lands.
Yep, drawing a bunch of lands and cultivate.
The key is to play very classy basic lands, and then you draw them in an appropriate amount.
Ah, I see.
That's what you missed.
I will pass the turn.
I probably spent as much time picking out basic lands as I did building my deck.
Nice.
Which is true for most decks I build. Okay, attack you for 5.
I'm at 5.
And let's play a Tolarian Kraken. 4/6 for 6 mana. Whenever I draw a card, I can pay 1. If I do, tap or untap target creature.
All right.
Pass the turn. This was Caleb Durward's preview card.
Okay. Well, I have absolutely nothing here. All right. I will turn Truffle Snout with Rise Again.
Is that some kind of zombify?
It's a return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield for 5.
5, yeah.
And I will gain 4 life.
Brings you to 9.
And then I will put Infernal Scarring on it. Pass the turn.
The thing that lets it come back when it dies?
No, it's +2/+0, and when it dies, draw a card.
It does draw a card, okay.
Yeah.
Well, would buy you a turn except for this Kraken. So I'll draw for turn, and then that'll trigger the Kraken. I'll pay 1 to tap down the Truffle Snout.
Oh, is it just okay? Yeah.
Whenever I draw a card, I can pay 1.
Pay 1. Okay.
Yeah, get in for 9.
All right. Yep, that gets me. Yep, didn't have much there.
Yeah, you just flooded pretty badly in that second game.
Yeah.
In both games, I drew the Gormand. Like, most of my things are attacking on the ground, but Gormand's the one big flyer.
Seems real good. I basically have to get Fetid Imp, be able to actually give it Death Touch, and that's pretty much it. But yeah. All right.
You don't have any. What's the 4 and a black exile anything? There's one in my deck.
No, I did not get that, unfortunately.
Finishing Blow. There we go.
Yeah, Finishing Blow, or the I didn't get any of the red removal, so I don't think. Let me double check my pool here. I kind of just like went, kind of completely lost over the red because it was just no creatures almost. I have I think maybe 1 creature total too, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had 3 total creatures in my entire red pool. It was Pitchburn Devils, Igneous Cur, and Heartfire Immolator. So it was kind of like, okay, well, that's pretty weak. I do have 1 Scorching Dragonfire.
That's not going to do it.
Yeah, that's not going to do it.
There's a white card that gets any non-land permanent, and they get a 1/1.
Secure the Serene, or Secure the Scene, yeah, actually.
That would probably be a good splash card for you, because the 1/1 is going to be irrelevant most of the time. All your creatures are so big, and you just need to deal with things like Gormand or Planeswalker.
True, it's true. I might actually end up splashing that then.
Yeah, you've got the Cultivate and the Fable Passage, so 1 Plains gives you 3 easy sources.
Yep. All right, so we're going to actually go to a short break here. Just doing another deck tech. We're going to do mine this time. I might actually just swap out and get this Secure the Scene in here. I actually have 2, so I'd actually end up splashing that. And then we're going to show my deck tech. We're going to come back and we're going to play a 3rd game, even though I'm down 0-2, and then take it on to the next round after that. So be right back.
Hello everyone, Jeremy Noell here from Star City Games Commander Versus, and I'm here to talk to you today about my Core Set 2021 pre-release kit for the Star City Games Presents Core Set 2021 pre-release party. And I think I've got a pretty okay deck here. I've got some bombs for sure, but the rest of the deck it's okay. I'm building around the bombs mostly and really hoping to get there. So I opened up my pack, and the first thing I saw was my promo, which was just exciting as a Commander player. So I've got a Fabled Passage to promo stamp, so it's really cool. I get to put that into a Commander deck in the future, but it also helps fix my mana a little bit and I'm going to need it because I do have a card in here that costs triple black, and that is probably one of the best cards in this limited format, I think, and that's Massacre Worm. Oh man, I haven't played with one of these in a while, and especially in limited, it's been 10 years since this was printed. But I definitely remember playing this in limited, and it was real good. So I was like, okay, yeah, that seems pretty sweet. I opened that up in like my first pack, and I was super excited. All right, I'm gonna play black, and I kept going, and by like pack 4, I got real excited because I also opened up a foil Liliana Waker of the Dead. So this thing is pretty sweet. It's not as good as like previous Lilianas, but it's still very cool. The +1 is each player discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life. -3 is target creature gets -X, where X is the number of cards in my graveyard. So graveyard could fill up pretty quick. I don't think we're going to get to the ultimate, but you get an emblem with at the beginning of combat on your turn. Put target creature card from a graveyard into the battlefield under your control. It gains haste. That wins games right there. So to go along with that, we also have one other rare that goes in the deck that's in the color, and that is Hooded Blightfang. And this one's pretty sweet. I mean, it's a Rattlesnake. It's a Death Toucher. 1/4. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch attacks, each player loses 1. You gain 1. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals damage to a Planeswalker, destroy that Planeswalker. So it could be good if anybody else is running Planeswalkers, but it has to get through. So. And then I was trying to figure out what other color I wanted to go into, and the other obvious color in the pool kind of was green. I was looking at a little bit like trying to figure out if blue or white would be okay, but instead I ended up going with green, and one of the main reasons is I got a Jolrael Mulvaney Recluse. It's a 1/2. If you draw a second card each turn, you make a 2/2 green cat creature token. But the other thing is, for 6 mana until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand, which seems pretty sweet if you can draw a few extra cards or keep even a little bit in your hand to really get in there with like a bunch of maybe your 1/1s and your 2/1s become 4/4s all of a sudden. So we've got a couple other cards here that really help out with that. Things like Grasp of Darkness and Pestilent Haze can remove some creatures or remove all creatures or get rid of a couple of counters from opposing Planeswalker. Things like Thrashing Brontodon, which is just a pretty good body and can be a bit of artifact or enchantment removal if you really need to. Cultivate to really fix our mana to get up there for the Massacre Worm along with the Fabled Passage. And then Rise Again in case the Massacre Worm dies. We can go get it back right onto the battlefield, give all of their creatures -2/-2 again, hopefully kill a couple more, drain them a little bit more. The rest of the deck is pretty okay. It was mostly just filler stuff. We've got a couple of the Saber-Tooth Mauler at the beginning of your end step. If a creature died this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it, which works out pretty well if you have Massacre Worm, or if you get like a Liliana and can kill something off, then that works out pretty well. Or with Grasp of Darkness or Pestilent Haze, maybe just give it an extra counter. We've got our boy Colossal Dreadmaw just in case, and then yeah, just some filler. I think one that's going to be pretty okay in this deck. Oh, I forgot about this one. Yep, this was on the bottom for some reason, but for 3 mana, 4/3, my other rare that was in my colors is Garruk's Harbinger. So it's a hexproof from black, 4/3. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You can reveal a card or a Garruk planeswalker card from among them, put them into your hand, put the rest on the bottom in your random order. So hopefully you can draw for, look at the top 4, get an extra creature out of it to really get going. And then the rest of it is just filler, some stall, some, like help out with that. So, yeah, I think this is pretty exciting. I'm excited to see where it goes. My curve is pretty okay. Just getting to Massacre Worm should be pretty good unless they have something real big to get, in the way of it. So yeah, hopefully we'll do okay and see you in the games. Thanks so much.
All right, so I got stomped pretty quick in both games there. So we made a couple of adjustments based on what Ross said earlier. So yeah, being able to splash a third color is not terribly difficult in this deck, which I will trust to that. I was trying to stick to the two colors because, as you saw in my deck tech, I have several cards that are double green and double black, and then Massacre Worm at triple black. So I was a little worried about it. But yeah, as Ross pointed out, with Fabled Passage, with Cultivate, definitely have an opportunity to. And I have a Temple of Silence and a Blossoming Sands, all to fix that color. So we've added in those the 2 copies of the Secure the Scene, I think it was, the white card.
Yeah.
That can exile and give them a 1/1. So we'll see if that helps out a little bit. So I've drawn my 7. I think this is pretty good. I'm going to keep this, and I'll be on the play for our third pity game here.
Oof. Got 2 of my red cards and no red mana. This hand is great if I draw red mana. Pretty bad if I don't. And I think that means I'm going to send it back.
All right.
It wouldn't be a live stream without me having to mulligan.
That's what we aim for here.
Yeah. Now you got to get the 5 chance going.
Yeah, I get the Corey 5. I'm not that. Oh.
Okay.
We do have Jonathan Suarez and Tappy Toe Claws coming up right after this, so we will try to make this a fairly quick game. I might just get hit with Gorman 4 times really quickly again.
The pity games are always played fast and loose.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I don't know if you know how we operate. Granted, I play a lot of games fast and loose, but this is going to be an easy keep.
All right, good?
Yeah.
Sparkless Fine pass.
Swamp Go.
Joel Real, Mulvani Recluse pass.
Ooh. Now we're curving out. Island Fetid Imp pass.
Temple of Silence.
It's Orzhov, right?
Yeah, it's the black-white. Look at the top. I'll keep that there. Pass the turn. Actually, no. I'm going to draw that so that I can make a 2/2.
Cool beans.
And then pass.
Okay, I've got a swamp. I'm going to get in for 1 in the air, right? None of that has reach.
Yep, nothing has reach. 19.
And then play a Teferi's Protege.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Swamp. That's one of the looters, right?
Yeah, 2/3.
Grasp of Darkness.
On the
Swing.
Protege?
Yeah, swing 3.
I go to 17.
Pass the turn.
Let's play an island and pass back.
Forest. You have the.
I have the imp up.
Yeah. Say if you want to trade with this 2/2 cat, you're more than welcome to.
I do not. I'll go to 15.
Gnarled Sage.
Is that the 3/3 that gets
4/4 reach as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn.
Yeah.
Gets +0/+2 and has vigilance past the turn.
On your end step, I will capture Sphere of the Gnarled Sage.
Capture Sphere.
That one tap down. Bad. Let's get in for one with the imp.
18.
Play a blood. Nah. Play a Bloodfell Caves. Go to 16.
Mm-hmm.
And then play a Skeleton Archer. Once again, no 1 toughness creatures, so we'll send the point upstairs. Excuse me.
17.
Got 17, 16, and I will pass the turn.
Another land. That's a 3/3, right?
Yeah. Classic Hill Giant.
Colossal Dreadmaw, 6/6 trample.
That's so big.
Pass that turn.
Oh, play a mountain. And play Read the Tides, choosing to draw 3 cards.
Nice.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
I will
Are you getting
pass
flooded
the
now?
turn. No, I'm gonna hold the imp back just in case you have removal for the archer. I guess you're kind of removal light. I need to play really defensively right now. Yeah, I'll just pass.
Another forest. Swing in with the Dreadmaw.
No blocks. I will go to 10.
All right, I'm going to play this Hooded Blightfang.
That's the 1/4 Death Toucher.
1/4 Death Touch. Pass the turn.
Okay, that's something at least. Play a Swamp and Tolarian Kraken.
Okay.
Leaving up the Bloodfell Caves, and then pass the turn.
I will. That is. Move to combat.
Yep.
We'll attack with both of these. You'll lose 1, I'll gain 1.
So I go to 9, you go to, or I go to 9, you go to 18.
Correct.
Okay. So I have 2 potential blocks here. I can try to trade Imp for Dreadmaw and Kraken for the 1/4, or I can try to trade the Imp for the 1/4 and double block the Dreadmaw. Effectively very similar. If you have a removal spell, an instant speed removal spell is pretty bad for either block. Normally the double block is riskier, but if I block with Imp and you just kill it after I give a Death Touch, you get to trample over, and I'm going to have a real hard time dealing with this 6/6. But I will probably just need to rip a removal spell either way. And if I lose the 3/3, then I'm not going to be able to contain the Joel Rail and the cat. How many cards do you have in hand?
I have 2.
So you can. The Joel Rail makes all your creatures 2/2s?
Yeah, it would be
Right.
base power, toughness, XX. That's the number of cards in your hand.
Yeah. Should not be particularly good. I guess the double block play has the benefit of me not taking any damage this turn, too. Yeah, let's go for that one. So I'm going to double block the Dreadmaw with Archer and Kraken, and then I'm going to put the Imp on the 1/4.
Okay.
And I'll give the Imp Death Touch.
That happens. All right, so
So-
these trade.
Which one of my 2 creatures are you ordering first?
I'm going to get the Kraken.
Makes sense.
And then I will play Garrick's Harbinger.
Yep.
And pass the turn.
Oh, this could go better. I'll play an island and pass.
Draw for the turn. You're at 9 currently.
Yep.
Swing.
Just the Harbinger.
Just the Harbinger.
I will block.
Oh, it's hexproof from black. That's
Yeah,
right,
not pro black.
protection. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was pro black for some reason in my head, but that doesn't really change anything. I'm going to skeleton archer you for 1.
Brings me to 8.
Pass the turn.
Okay, that can be the start of something here. I will play Teferi, Master of Time.
Ooh.
So +1 to loot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's going to be the end of something. I will play an island and pass the turn.
Draw. -3 is phase something out.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to pay 5 to secure the scene. Get rid of Teferi.
I
South
will
non-land.
respond by I can effectively use the phasing to just gain a little bit of life, or I can loot here. I think I need to loot to just get back into this game and hit something good. Okay, I will discard island. Still in response to secure, I will opt.
Okay.
That's an interesting one, but unfortunately not good enough. I guess as I draw something else, I've got 9 mana in play, so I could draw one of those. No, even that wouldn't. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, even that wouldn't be good enough. You have 1 card in hand, right?
I do have 1 card in hand.
Yeah, because of the Joel Rail, blocker plus removal spell actually isn't good enough here. I think I need to find a removal spell right now. So I have to bottom my spined Megalodon. Yeah. Normally opting into a 7-drop when you have 9 lands in play is very good.
Yeah.
But oh, I guess I have a 1/1. Yeah, I probably should have kept that.
You do have a 1.
Forgot about that, but I bottomed. I drew my card. So Teferi's exiled. I got a 1/1 like soldier or something.
Yeah, it's a soldier. I'm gonna swing in with everything though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to block or not.
I think I can wait to block, especially if I draw Gormand.
Okay, so you would take 6.
I'll go to 2.
Yep. Then I'm gonna play Drowsing Tyrannodon.
Got another thing.
Yep, and then pass the turn.
Drowsing Tyrannodon is the 3/3 defender.
3/3 defender. If I control a creature with 4 or greater, it can attack as though it didn't have defender. And I do have the Gnarled Sage, even though it is.
Oh yeah, that got captured sphere.
Caught in a sphere.
Well, I did draw the Gormand, but it is far from enough to get me back into this game because I have that in 2 lands. Yeah. My Read the Tides was 3 lands when I needed to find spells.
Yeah, it seemed like it when you were like, oh dear. That seemed like 3 lands straight up. So okay, so that is it for that game. Yeah, we are going to go on a break for about 10 minutes while we get our friend Tappy Toe Claus and Jonathan Suarez all set up and make sure that they are good to go. And yeah, we will bring you the action here for the Core Set 2021 pre-release party presented by Star City Games in just a few. Thank you so much for watching, everyone.